Hello. Today we will implement the linked list data structure and we will also implement the add method. So today we will define the linked list data structure and we will implement the add method of the linked list data structure. So first let's define the package. In package name, the convention would be data com dot data structure dot linked list, and in this package I'll define my linked list class, my linked list, right? So this is my class. Now what would I define in this class? Let's get back to the slide. Here we have different objects and we call these different objects as nodes. In linked list data structure, we call them nodes. The nodes are connected to each other. So how can we define these nodes? For to define these nodes, I'll create a subclass which I'll call node, and this class node will be maintaining the data as well as the references. So I'll define a field class node and I'll call it next. Next means the next reference, and the second element is, or second variable would be, I'm defining it as a string. You can use it object or any other data type, and that is data. So in the subclass I have two fields, node as in order to maintain the reference, and the data. So now again back to the slide. This node, this is data 1, data 2, this is actually data, and this is a reference. So we are maintaining the reference with the help of node data type, and data is stored in this field. We have two private fields here, and let's generate the getter and setters and select all and the factor. And now we have the getters and setters for these two fields. So this is a subclass, and now here we will declare this node as a field, private node, and I'll call this head. So I'm calling this node as a head. This will be the head node, and let's define a constructor here. In this constructor I'll initialize a new node, and I initialize let's say with the data of head node. So it's saying that there is no constructor defined in the node class with a parameter. So let's define a parameterized constructor, and data is equals to this dot data, and next right now is pointing to now. Okay. So now let's add the method here, public void, what we can call it, let's say add is appropriate name, and string data. So now if I want to add a node to my linked list, I'll create an object and I'll say node equals to new. I will say it new node equals to node, and its data will be, let's say, Oracle it's data, right? And now what I'll do, I'll say head dot next, head dot set next. So the next element of this head node will be our new node, right? Okay, so whenever I'll call this method, it will keep on adding on this head. So we don't need this. We want to add a new element after the last one. Okay, so for the first time this code would work fine, but what would be the case for the subsequent elements, for the next elements? All the nodes will be added, or will be referencing to the head node. This shouldn't be the case, because we want to add new elements to the list. So let's take help from the pictorial format, and let me draw this while coding also, so that you could understand it in a better way. Let's say we have, and let me delete these elements in this one. So initially we have a head, and the head is referencing to null element, and in this node we are calling it as a head node, right? Now if I set an element here, so it will be an, oh sorry, it shouldn't be data, Oracle, it should be data. If I'm setting a next element, so what will happen? Let me copy and paste it, and this will be here, and whatever data we will pass through this will be here. Let's say it's Oracle. Now, and it's we have referenced the head element to this new node. Now again, I want to add a new node with the name Oracle, with the name Microsoft. So what will happen then? So now in this case, this reference will start pointing this one, and this will be Microsoft, right? So this is not something we want. Okay, so we need to change this code. So what we will do, we will try to search where the null element is, like if it's pointing to the Oracle, and then this reference will be pointing towards so this is, and Oracle will be pointing towards null. We need to search that which element is pointing towards null, and we will add the new node in between at this position after the last element. So we will have to make, or we'll have to create a pointer here. Let's say node current equals head, right? And now we will take help from the while loop. While current dot get next is not equals to null. I'll explain this also to you, so don't worry. And here I'll say current equals current dot get next. So what I'm doing here is I'm searching for the node which is pointing to null. Let's say we have 3 elements here. Oracle, head node, Oracle, and this third element is let's say Linux, and this Linux is pointing towards null, right? Like this. See, this is a bit time consuming for me, so please bear with me. Okay. So what we need now, we need to get to this position, the third element, because it's pointing to null. And if you want to add an element, so that will be its next element. So we have a pointer. Let's say we have, let me choose a pointer, and the pointer is like this. So should be this one. So we have a pointer which is actually pointing to the head node, right? When we say if current, so the current is the head node. The head node dot get next. Its next is Oracle. If it's not equals to null, then the current reference will be pointing its next reference. So when this line will be executed, the pointer position will be this one. Then I'm again checking, is this referencing or is this pointing towards null? Again, no. So the reference of this current object will be its next one, and its next one is Linux. Is Linux pointing towards null? Yes. So from that point, this loop will be terminated, and the execution pointer will come at this line. Here we can say current dot set next, which one? New node, right? So now what will happen if I want to add let's say I will say del. So the del will be pointing towards, Linux will be pointing towards del rather than null, and del will be pointing towards null. I hope you got my point, right? So now let's create another class. Let's call it execute and this will be having the main method, and this main method we also need to print all the elements. So public void, we will say, we will override, or we will say, let's say display linked list, right? This method will display all the elements of the linked list. What we will do while uh, again we will take the pointer here, node current equals head, right? So the node is currently pointing towards head. So I'm saying current dot get next is not equals to null. So keep on printing elements. So I'll say system.out dot println and current dot get data, and we need to set this pointer current equals to current dot set to next, right? And now let's create an object of our linked list class. Linked list my linked list mlm equals to new linked list, mll dot, we are adding an element, add oracle add Microsoft, Yahoo, Google, and then display. So I'll say mll dot display linked list. Let's run this. Okay, so it's showing me null. Let's check what's the problem is. Okay, here's the problem. This dot data should be equals to data, right? So now I hope code will work fine. Let's run this. As you can see, a minor mistake can create big problems for you. So it's always good to debug your code when you are doing it, and I hope you will be doing this. So now we have head node, Oracle, Microsoft, and Yahoo. This is how we can add to the list.